It was 15 years ago that I started recording serious music. I wrote songs about heartbreak resulting from unrequited love given to friends and romantic interests alike. My music was a representation of the words left in voicemails to people you care about more than they care about you. It wasn't much at first, but by the time I made it to college, people around me told me to pursue it further. So, I started doing small shows and sharing my music more openly. I recorded demos and put them online, but something was missing. That's when I met someone with a deep love for singing who also had a much better singing voice than I did. She agreed to record a song that I had written and do it as a duet instead. The people who heard the duet were ecstatic. There was an instant demand for me to re-record the entire demo CD I had been working on and have her on every single song. And thus, After the Tone was born. Over the next few months, we would re-record the songs that I had worked on for the past few years as duets and add songs of her own creation as well. Our demo album was done and released near the end of 2009, and I took time off college to pitch the project to labels in Southern California. And sure enough, there were a few labels that were very interested and asked if they could meet with us. So, I called my friend to let her know we'd made it, but she didn't answer.
You were my partner, we did this together, but you disappeared like the foggiest weather.
The labels were understandably scared away by the lack of certainty surrounding the project, so they rescinded all talking offers. Word quickly spread to the other A&Rs in the area not to work with me. And so the ultimate irony had occurred. After the Tone was stopped in its tracks when I was, yet again, left recording my pain and hurt after the Tone in unanswered voicemails. Ashamed and defeated, I left Southern California. I told friends and family that I needed a change. I never admitted what really happened. I just assumed I must have done something wrong to scare away my musical partner in crime. Maybe I said the wrong thing, was too overbearing, something. I must have done something. I stopped recording music with the intent of making it in the industry.
Hey guys, this song is called Journey Called Life. It's basically the last song I'm going to put in any sort of public forum. I don't know if I'll keep writing songs, probably, but this is going to be the last one that I actually put out there, so.
After the Tone would just remain as a background hobby for the next 10 years as I worked on other musical and life ventures. But then, I put on the mask. Everything changed. I found a spark of success as a musician and entertainer. However, in the back of my mind, all I could think about was After the Tone. I still had not, after all these years, admitted to myself or anyone else what had really happened. What had led me to become a ghostwriter and song producer for other musicians instead of just being an artist myself. What was the reason that I had grown to have no self-confidence in myself as a musician? You see, without the other person involved, my music wasn't worth anything to the record labels. My friends showed a lot more zeal for my music after she had been introduced. In my mind, I wasn't worth anything as a musician worth noting without her. And I carried that weight on my shoulders for over 10 years. But finally, near the end of 2020, I quietly began working on closing the After the Tone chapter of my life once and for all. I silently built the framework for what would be my send-off of something that has meant the world to me as I've grown up. Anger, sorrow, misplaced optimism, the essence of grief itself, as I said goodbye, were poured into the project. I attempted to create a final piece of art from the ashes of my past existence. And then, just as I was wrapping things up, the ending to the story was drastically changed.
Please leave a message after the...
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
This whole album is a masterpiece. You said what was on your mind and you did not hold back any punches. Clearly you did not hold back any punches. You fucking created a masterpiece.
Album is freaking beautiful. A 9 out of 10 for me.
Overall, what did I think of We Skeem After the Tone? Maybe a 9.5 is sufficient.
I have never in, I guess the 4 years that I've taken music sort of seriously, rated an album 5 out of 5 all the way through. All of the songs on this album are 5 out of 5.
Definitely Skeem's best album. After Tone, the story, captured very well within these 12 tracks.
It's his best album yet, better than anything released by Skeem so far. I absolutely love this album.
Well, hello everybody. We have a lot of people here. We have 100 people here. Apparently, you guys are quite... Hold on, let me get this out of my screen. Quite curious and here for this. So I have decided, as this album's come out, since it was made possible, to bring on the person from that story you just watched. And it's not just a story, it's life. It's, you know, how life turned out for me in this situation. And one of the big messages that the album attempts to ham-fistedly convey by the end voice recording with this person is that, you know, when we grieve through something and do all of that, we usually paint, here's the hero, here's the villain, but life is a lot more complicated than that. And I thought that recording kind of captured that life's a lot more complicated than that. But I also know a lot of people had been asking a lot of questions, and some of them I could answer and some of them probably not. And I figured this would be a good way to just talk, introduce the community, and just kind of see where we go. We're going to refer to her. She's on the line with me. We're going to refer to her as Jane, like a Jane Doe sort of thing, to keep her anonymity. She won't be able to exactly see what you guys are saying because she's on a cell phone. I don't think she'll be able to switch to the chat, but I'm going to try to be the mediator, communicator if you guys have questions. So, and Grant just threw money at me. I appreciate the dono, Grant. So let's say hello and welcome who we shall call Jane Doe, Miss Jane.
Hello?
Hello. There's
Hi.
a lot of highs in the chat to Jane. So that's
I just unmuted myself. I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, can you guys all hear her well? I'm going to wait. There's usually a little bit of a delay.
Right.
I just had a nice, pleasant comment. Thank you, Jane, for giving us We Skeem. Everyone says sounds good, and Liz says you have a pretty voice.
Thank you. That's really sweet. Well, it's good to talk to you, Skeem. How are you doing?
You know, it's always a ride. I'm tired with the kids. That's about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Loopy's kicking off some questions. I figured that's how this would go. Loopy wants to know if you've heard any of the album.
So we had a conversation before the album came out on the phone, and we both talked about it, and I said I'm probably at this point not going to listen to the album, just because we talked personally about what happened, and I totally respect and understand the importance of getting emotions out through art. At this point, I have not chosen to listen to the album, just for my own personal emotions, but I have listened to, of course, the last track, which came from a conversation we had, and I listened to Destructive Hands, which was beautiful.
Yeah, that's been a lot of people's favorites, just the stripped down piano. And that was written years before I met you, so that one was safe.
Right.
Purple Bag throwing money. Love you, Skeemy Boy, and love the Weirdo Cult. You're the first person and only person I've really supported with the little donations I send. I appreciate you, Purple Bag of Doritos. Stream MVP, thank you for the love. Let's see. Someone just plugged the album. She should stream After the Tone on Spotify. Great album. Thanks for being my marketing team, guys. Will the stream be uploaded as a video? Maybe for members. Maybe it'll just be left. I'm not sure yet. We might leave it on YouTube. It's an interesting one. And then Travis just said, know that... You know who Skeem is? Travis wants to know, now that you know that I am the person you knew before, and even before that, he wants to know if you've listened to any of our other music, or any of my other music, and he also wants to say thank you for giving us Skeem, and then he just wanted to throw money.
Well, I think Skeem developed himself through many life experiences. And we were in contact with each other before I knew Skeem's identity, just on Instagram. And I did have a very, oh my God moment when I found out who he was. Because I was definitely shocked by that. I had listened to some of his music before that.
And Jason JV, thanks for the support. Much love and respect for Skeem. Album's fantastic. Thanks for the dono. Someone, so you have listened to some of the old songs. Someone wants to know, is Jane currently an entertainer?
Yeah, I am a musician. I perform, and I sing, and I produce, and I teach. And that's pretty much what I do in my life.
Piano teacher. Remember when I was trying to teach you piano?
Yeah, I thought it was a hopeless cause, but now I can empathize with those students who think that way.
Well, I did my best attempt at a piano lesson. I was like, it's just chords. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And you picked it up fast. It was fine.
You know, people get in their heads about it. And once you realize there's so much you can learn, there's so much you can do on piano without really... I mean, it's good to learn the basics and everything.
Well, it's not like a guitar where you have to learn how to make sounds come out of it. The piano, all you have to do is press down and the sounds are there. So half the battle's won.
You gotta press the keys that you want to press.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. Do you still, I know you kind of answered this. Do you still create music? I know this already. They're all asking about your songs. You're not going to be able to find her songs because she's kind of staying anonymous here, guys. Unless
I am. Yeah, that's just kind of what we discussed before this. Let's just kind of keep it anonymous.
If you want to plug yourself, you can. There's 100 people in here that'd be curious to hear your stuff. The anonymity is completely up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that.
You could chew it over. Let's see what other questions we have here. Let's see, did I miss something? Loopy, we Skeem is salty and followed, interacted with her as Skeem. What? Oh, someone's trying to find out how we had linked up before. Yeah, I had followed her, and then she followed me back. And there was a short period of time where I was like, I'm going to follow her, and then I'm going to be big and famous, and I'm going to rub her nose in it. And then that thought was so fleeting that I was like, no, that's stupid. And then now I was like, well, I can't just now tell her who I am because I've already talked to her as we Skeem. So I was like, she'll find out with everyone else.
Yeah, I always thought, I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't know who you were, and I thought, wow, this artist is following me and and has been supportive of me. Before I knew who you were. You had, requested some songs for me. I think that you
February Air by
bought
Lights.
yes, February by Lights, one of my favorite songs. And I think you bought my album when it came out.
No, I actually won a copy of your album because you did an art contest.
You won yes, that's right. Okay, yes. So you were supportive in several ways. Is that you participated in an art contest that I put on, and I sent you my album. So I always thought, oh, this is kind of a cool artist support relationship thing here.
And that's kind of what it ended up
is.
being. Like, my original plan was just being petty and salty, but probably within like 2 weeks, I was like, well, I guess I'll just support the music where I can, and eventually she'll know who I actually am.
Yeah, the first time you did a face reveal, I said, "Wow, that looks a lot like this guy that I know." But it's been a long time, so I said, well, maybe he just looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
But then later on, some older pictures.
12 years and a beard will make it confusing. But yeah, I posted on my Instagram pictures that cropped Jane Doe out.
Yes. And I said, I think I was in that picture.
Yes, you were.
So that was definitely a mind-blown moment.
Yeah, that was actually funny you mention it. Your reaction to knowing who I was what led me to having a live stream where I said, should I give her a heads up about this album? I think I might have it wrong. Because I figured, because I had thought for so long you had just deliberately ghosted me because you had some resentment against me or something else happened that I wasn't aware of, was my impression. And I always thought whatever it was couldn't have been bad enough for you not to tell me, because I don't remember doing anything to you, right? And so that's where like a lot of the anger and resentment came from, aside from what was missed out on. But when you were just like, oh my gosh, it's you, and you were all like stoked and happy, I can't believe we've been talking, I was like, hold on. That would not be the appropriate response from someone who ghosted me. The response would be you would just disappear again or never mention it. So that's when I was like, I think maybe I need to reach out and let her know what's going on, because her response didn't seem on par.
Well, that was another, and I appreciated that. That was a mind-blown moment in a very different way. When you did reach out to me, and then I asked you, do you mind if I talk about this a little?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said that you warned me that there was going to be some content that was salty towards me, and there were some things that happened that maybe I didn't know about. And I said, I'm very interested to hear more about this. And after you told me everything that happened, that was another mind-blown moment for me in a very different way, in that, 12 years later, I had no idea that I had hurt this person, and that I had done things that really affected your life, had affected this person's life unintentionally. And it was a sobering experience to hear about everything that had happened.
Yeah, I don't know what that would feel like on the other end. I know what it felt like on my end to have my reality shifted, but sometimes I don't think about the fact that two realities got shifted. Your reality just didn't have any prolonged thought on it, right? I wasn't like a lingering thought in your mind at any point that I would imagine, but it was still kind of, I'm sure, a very, like you said, mind-altering moment. Grant just threw money. Thanks, Grant. And he asks, does Jane have a YouTube channel? She does have one, but that'll be up to her if she decides to share that with you all. She has a YouTube and Instagram and stuff. I think YouTube and physical copies are probably the primary place you put your music out. You have it on Spotify too, actually.
Yeah, Spotify. Well, on all the streaming.
Yeah, all the streaming usual indie artist stuff.
Yeah, the usual indie artist stuff. I have I have a website, and I have a YouTube.
Liz is happy that we're both mature enough to have a conversation like this in the first place. Liz is in Australia, by the way. I think she's staying up late to catch this.
Well, I think that we've both done a lot of inner work over the last 12 years.
Well, it's one thing I explained to some people who had talked about like us being able to talk. Actually, some of the old people from our old college were curious about how I was dealing or why we were close. I was like, well, when you spend several weekends in a house with someone recording a full album and also planning for potential shows and doing all that, you form a very unique bond with that person. And when you realize that the reason that bond was broken was really both of you not being very emotionally intelligent and poor communication, it's pretty easy to rekindle those kind of roots, is what I've said.
I agree with that. Yeah. And like you said, the reality shift for me was really different than the reality shift for you. I had thought of you fondly as someone that I was close with, and that, you know, everybody has these people in their life that you're close with and you lose touch with for some reason or another. And that's how I had thought of it for many years, was that somehow we kind of lost touch throughout the years. And when I think back on that time of when that was happening, actively happening, my mind was so scattered, and I was kind of working through some of my own traumas, that it escaped me that it wasn't just a passive losing of touch. It was that I was not making an effort. Yeah. Or not able to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I know one thing. Actually, I want to address a couple things in the chat. Brandy Beach asks if there's a chance of us doing a song together in the future. Mrs. Skeem is like, I don't know about all that. Mrs. Skeem's a very jealous lady. Blindsight, showing love. Blindsight's another artist who is one of my closer friends on the platform. Mrs. Skeem, all love to you. It's okay that the claws don't need to be out.
Sure.
Mrs. Skeem is protective.
All love to you as well.
LC3, what's up? Larry knows the story as well. But Mrs. Skeem says it's not about jealousy. It might be about other traumas or something. Well, she can speak for herself if she decides to. But yeah, Brandy wants to know if we do a song together. Protective, not jealous. Okay, there it is. She's protective of me in this situation rather than jealous. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Thanks, honey. I was gonna say jealousy wouldn't really be appropriate here, but I get the protectiveness, considering. But I mean, to Brandy's question, even though it's not something Mrs. Skeem's super open to, I do stuff Mrs. Skeem's not open to all the time when it comes to music. So that would really be more up to Jane Doe's feeling on us doing a song at some point.
Well, that would be interesting, huh?
It would. That would be different. What's funny is before We Skeem took off, what I was actually working on was I was remastering, because I still have all of the original raw recording masters of the album we recorded here with Moonlight. And I was actually going to go through and remaster all of them to have like close to studio sound as possible, now that I know audio engineering. The recording quality is not perfect, but I could replace some of the drums with more studio drum sounds and stuff like that. And I was going to do it as like a 10-year anniversary thing. And then We Skeem took off and that went on the back burner. But it's after this album, that might be something I might want to reconsider again. I'm sure some people would be curious to hear that with new life brought to it.
I still remember the songs.
I know you do. Because
I think I sang one back to you on our last phone conversation.
You did, and that's actually in like the CD version of my album. I put that as like an Easter egg at the end. I put the version of The Right Thing to Say that we had recorded at the very end, after a bunch of blank space, like an old person would, a hidden track. It's not on the Spotify or anything, but it starts with your recording where you sing along to it, and then it goes into our old 2009 version of the song.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a perk for those people that cop the physical merch, and that's the plug, right? If you want to hear it, it exists on the CD version. It'll also be on the little USB version whenever those get finished. But let's see. Liz says that she's proud of Jane because it's hard to admit hard and bad stuff about yourself and your past.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that for me, it's been important to take responsibility for, just things that you do in life. I don't want to dwell on, hate. I don't need to hate myself because I know that I said in the recording, I mentioned having ADHD. And part of my journey with dealing with that is I don't need to, blame everything on that. It's not an excuse, but it's the truth. And it has real effects on myself and other people in my life. And, all we can do is try our best and take responsibility for ourselves.
And that's
right?
something that I try to explain to people about mental illness, that it doesn't always get registered with people who, especially those who don't suffer from any sort of mental illness, that if it is important for context to know if that's involved, not for excusing the behavior, but for context to it, because you'll do things that don't make rational sense without it. So someone would be like, no, what was the real reason? What was the motive? Because people want to know why. They don't just want to know what. They want to know why someone did something. That's why, like, when there's like a shooting or something, nobody cares about anything except for why did the shooter do it. That's like the first thing people want to know. And so it's important when talking about, if you hurt someone and you're just like, there was no deliberate action. Well, I'm not excusing what I did, but you asked me why. Contextually, the why has a lot to do with my mental health, and I've hurt people that way a lot. And it's not, a lot of people will be like, oh, you're just trying to make an excuse. Like, no, because you want an explanation, and that's the only one I have, because that's just the God honest truth. Right.
And the other person has every right to feel the way they feel with hurt or anger. The effects are real. The people on receiving end of these things has every right to feel what they feel. But having understanding for, everybody's brain works in a different way, and not everybody acts the same, behaves the same way because of that, is very helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Jason Todd, who's actually a young lady who just has the name Jason Todd for a Batman reference, says, as someone with inattentive, impulsive type ADHD, I definitely would forget to call my friend back for 12 years. I feel you.
Oh, man. True soul sisters.
Let's see. What else did I miss? Someone said, it's like knowing you're deaf and trying to hear stuff. Just because you know you're doing it doesn't mean you can always control it. That's an interesting point. I usually use a bum knee as my analogy. Just trying to see what other questions or things that people have in here. Someone says they think they can relate to Jane because it's only been in the last 2 or 3 years that I found out I'm actually bipolar. And when you get told, oh, this is what you have, it makes the confusion make sense. Sometimes it can, yeah. I think that's why a lot of the times it's important to note when you're talking to someone about maybe if you hurt them that at the time I wasn't diagnosed, and some people don't understand the significance of it, but the significance of it is post-diagnosis, whether or not you're on medication or some other therapy, the way you learn to manage your disorder is astronomically different when you know what it is and how to deal with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of power in understanding yourself and having tools and resources, which is also something I didn't have when I was younger either.
Yeah.
Not knowing that. And once you do learn more about it, it can help you, or it has helped me to just function a way that I want to function a lot more.
Yep. And then Jason Todd just summed up that little thing. PSA: mental health is an explanation for certain behaviors, but not an excuse. We can acknowledge how it affects our lives while also not trying to brush off how it affects others. Exactly. Nice summary. And then someone just asked, was After the Tone supposed to be a duo? Well, actually, it was just me making music under my name. And when I got Jane involved, I just went with the title After the Tone, since it wasn't just me and I needed like a band name. So After the Tone was indeed a duo. And then it was just kind of a hobby where I was the only one doing it for the next 10, 12 years. I never really tried to do anything major with it after the first collapse. It's just something I fiddled with.
After the Tone, I would say was really your project, right? That you started and you brought me into it. Yeah,
it was something that, I mean, we pretty much, the album we did, I think almost all of the songs were recorded and we just re-recorded them.
Yeah, they were mostly songs you had written.
Yeah, except for like you added one song, really.
Yeah.
And it all started when I had you record Should We as a duet and everyone freaked out.
I still think that song's a hit.
That's a Broadway song for sure. Like it could be slapped into any Broadway musical because it fits the plot line of almost all of them. Yeah, that song was something. That song was something. People loved that song. Let's see, someone else just asked something. Brandy wants to know, what do you think about my progress in music?
I think that what do I think of Skeem's progress in music?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's come into becoming more of himself, and well, your voice has improved.
Yeah, I wasn't able to sing when we were that was the big reason you got involved, was to cover that up.
No, I think you sound great.
Loopy asks, since the album's 15 years in the making, were there any subtle hits of After the Tone before the project was announced other than the reference in one of your old songs? There was a lot of hints about my old life. Yeah, there'd be a lot, way too many to list. I think someone asked what type of music you make. How would you describe it?
Well, my background is pretty all over the place. Okay, long story short, I'm a ethereal singer, songwriter, indie dream pop artist.
That is a mouthful.
That a long story short? I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of like when you're trying to describe my genre, I think.
Yeah.
It's probably why we got along.
It's hard. Big on the vocal harmonies, big on the synthesizers. Yeah.
How much does she charge for a feature? Asks LC3.
For a feature?
Yeah, he wants to hire you for a chorus or something, I think.
Well, you can give him my info. We'll talk.
All right, Larry, I'll text you later. Thanks for the buying the cassette USB Truth About Falling. Brandy wants to know if you have a favorite song that you've heard of mine. I'm guessing it's Destructive Hands, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, yeah. That's the only one that I've really heard from your most recent album, and I thought it was great. So I'd go with that one.
Loopy says, so basically we've all been part/witnessed this whole After the Tone chapter, but it went over our heads. Well, I wasn't making it intentionally easy for you to know because it had so much to do with my past life, especially when I hinted at it before I had done the face reveal. It was just me more like venting emotions. Purpleback says, I noticed you threw Late Nights into the album from Manic Midnight's EP. How come? Because my inspiration when I wrote the song had a lot to do with After the Tone, so it just made sense. What does Jane think about the We Skeem persona? Aside from the music, did she think it was weird?
No, I thought it was brilliant. I didn't, like I said, I didn't know who it was, and so it was very objective for me when you started following me and I started following you. It was so I had no idea of like, oh, this is my friend doing this now. It was, oh, here's this artist. And then when I found out it was you, I thought, I think that's what I said to you. I went, that the mask was brilliant.
Yeah,
like,
that was literally the first thing you said.
Yeah, the whole thing was really like you made it work.
It was an interesting ride. I mean, I still use the mask for almost everything music related, but it's nice to be able to breathe during other things now.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
A bunch of people said you need to hear the song Hit Me if you haven't, because that's usually people's favorite song of mine, so I just saw a bunch of people mention that.
Okay. I'll keep that one in mind.
It's a crazy hyper sonic rap song. I don't know if it'll be your cup of tea, but you can check it out.
I think good authentic music is good authentic music. I don't really, genre is not a huge barrier for me.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna like something or not, it's the feel.
Jason Todd says, play it for her. I don't have a way to do that. We're on a Skype call, so she can listen to it on her own time if she so decides. Dual Marrow says that you need to hear Sideshow. Well, Dual, she has heard Sideshow. The original Sideshow was on our album.
I have heard, yes, I know Sideshow.
There is a new version of it on my album Pop Punk Is Dead, which I was like, if she ever listens to this album, she's going to know who I am, because I was still masked when that album came out. I was like, if she ever hears this, she's going to notice the last song Sideshow on there. She's going to be like, hold on, I've heard this song.
Well, and I think I had listened to, like, maybe just a couple of songs that came up on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I didn't make it through. I didn't, like, listen through the whole album.
Yeah, and Sideshow wasn't posted anywhere. It was just, like, you'd have to be listening to the album, which was kind of deliberate.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that's too easy for her to know who I am, and I wasn't really wanting to deal with that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you guys got? Mrs. Skeem, is Jane only anonymous to us, not you? Yeah, Mrs. Skeem knows who Jane Doe is. What do you guys got? You got 92 quiet people in here. Has she heard Punk Kids? Have you heard the song Punk Kids, Jane?
It's possible if it was, posted on Instagram.
That one probably not. I mean, it was only on YouTube. I'm trying to think songs that it might have had a promo on Instagram. I don't know. Liz says, I like Jane. Okay, Liz, thanks. There you go.
Well, I really appreciate the love and kindness coming from the community, and sending lots of love to everyone.
Yeah, I haven't even had to weed out any hate comments. It's been nice.
I would never even know.
David, last name starting with an R, you might know who that is, said, this is blowing my mind. You remember David?
Last name R.
He was at our college, one of the runner boys.
Runners, yeah.
He was a big fan of what we were doing.
I know.
He's in here in the chat saying this is blowing his mind.
Well, hope you're doing well, David.
Spartan says, boo, this is a hate comment. Hate, 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 hate. David says, hey, in big quotes, Jane.
Are you still running?
Yeah, David, you still run? I don't think he does. I think he's in the arts now, like us.
Very cool.
Writing and stuff. Someone just said, this community is too nice. Even the hate comments are nice. Travis says, I just have to say mad props to Jane. This is a hard thing to do, and I gotta say I'm smiling ear to ear with this. I'm glad that you two are bringing this full circle.
I am too. And I appreciate you, Skeem, for every conversation that we've had in the last couple of months, and for bringing me on and just being real and authentic and talking about difficult things.
It's a recurring theme in my channel, so it felt appropriate. David says he actively enjoys not running. Grant wants to know if you've heard my song Normal. Grant, I think Jane's going to be about as good with names of songs as I am. That song's really old, before I think I followed her as We Scheme, so she probably has not. That's another fan favorite. It's a song about mental health. It recounts like my first panic attack and then kind of goes from there. Brandy, Skeem, what do you think about me and my boyfriend dressing up as you and Mrs. Skeem for Halloween? Go for it. We got creepy costumes. Get it. Someone says this is the best possible ending to the After the Tone saga. We're on the right story arc. Has Jane subscribed? There's like 10 people demanding to know if you're subscribed to the channel.
Yes, I am.
There we go. She's subscribed. Let's see. Would Jane consider singing a song for us right now? Probably not, Cab. You're the one that likes a cappella songs, but if she wants, she can.
Is there a request?
Anyone in the chat have a request? Cab, you're the one that asked. That girl, Heather, says, Jane is brave. I would have run for this opportunity to speak. Well, I'm a salesman. I try to make these things more feasible for people when I pitch it. No, but one of the biggest things I want to do is make sure that if I did this, it would be in a position where I'd be keeping everyone safe. And I trusted you guys to do that. And you have not disappointed so far. LC3 wants to know, does she know that you kill karaoke, though?
What's your karaoke song?
I mean, there's a lot. If I want to get the crowd hyped, I'm doing Baby Got Back for sure, though. If I want to get them in their feels, I'm doing Creep by Radiohead.
A solid choice. Oh, 2 solid choices.
Travis says, sorry, Jane. Skeem owns karaoke around these parts. I'm still not seeing any song requests, so I guess they might have backed out of that.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, so they're all saying I need to say Gaston as my karaoke song because I do all the voices when I do that.
Oh, nice.
I would like to say I'm not terrible at the voices. They keep encouraging me to do it, so it's either because I'm really bad at it or because I'm really good at it, because literally every time I do karaoke, Gaston gets demanded like crazy.
It's pretty fun and classic.
It's a good one. I think my LaFaux is a lot better than my Gaston.
Which one's LaFaux?
He's a little fat guy. The little sidekick of Gaston.
High squeaky voice?
Yep. Perfect for me. Gaston, you've got to pull yourself together. That guy.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Song choice, My Immortal by Evanescence, says Cab. Oh, sorry,
geez.
it's LaFou, not LaFaux. Thank you, Mrs. Skeem.
Well, You're in luck, because that happened to be one of my favorite songs at
Oh man.
probably since 12 years old, right?
Oh man, Cab, you
That song's
chose
been around
correctly.
for a long time. Are we doing this?
Go for it. Stage
All right,
is
here we go.
yours. Hopefully it doesn't clip or anything too much for them.
When you cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. You screamed, I'd fight away all of your fears. And I held your hand through all of these years. You still have all of me. Of me, of me.
See, I told you guys, I had her involved for her voice.
Ah,
All right, so the comments just exploded. Sounds good, damn, just ellipses, no words, fire emojis, voice of an angel. At least her voice is better than Amy Lee. Shots
know.
fired at Amy Lee.
Amy Lee's got that crazy sing high in her chest voice.
A
thing
lot
going
of
on.
flame emojis and head blown emojis and damns and hearts and curse you, Cab, your request is making me cry and shocked faces. We just got hit with like 1,000 comments. I can't read them all. But the 87 people here were very happy about that. Blindside just said, okay, now I want a feature. Oh boy. Did Jane ever audition for American Idol? Now we're getting these questions.
I did. Yeah, probably around the same time. I think I was about 17.
Oh,
I didn't make it through.
bummer.
You know those auditions on the TV. Those are not.
Those
really
are the second
first
audition. Yeah, the first audition
those
is
aren't really.
the first audition is, do we think we can sell you and make good TV out of you?
I believe so. Yeah, the audition I went to was, a whole what they call it, amphitheater of people, and you're auditioning, for 10 seconds, one right after the other. I don't know how many. There must have been 1,000 people there.
Good night,
I
Mrs.
didn't
Skeem. Mrs. Skeem's going to bed.
Oh yeah, it's very late where you are.
It's 10. It's not late for me, but
Well,
she goes to bed
good
earlier
night.
because she wakes up with the younger one. I usually stay up late streaming because this is one of the main ways we make our income, so I have to be up.
There you go.
Sorry, I cut you off. I had to say goodnight to the wife.
Oh, can I tell you something on that note? I randomly last night decided, maybe I should. I saw something that was American Idol's auditioning, and it's been like 12 years, so maybe I should audition for American Idol. Guess what?
What?
I am too old to audition for American Idol.
Dang, they did you like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I love
You gotta
that.
go.
No,
You gotta go. America's Got Talent now.
that was Aichiwawa. They said if you are born before 1992,
You're not allowed.
yeah.
Man, that's harsh. At
I
least
heard that.
a time for America's Got Talent. They don't have age restrictions. It's a better show anyway. People still watch that. I don't really feel like anyone watches American Idol anymore. Cab also said The Voice. That's another one that people still watch. Let's see. Did I miss
was
anything
on
else?
America's Got Talent with an a cappella group when I was 16.
Hey, I
Oh, I
remember
did
that
do
group. I remember that
Yeah,
group.
we're still together.
Really? You still tour?
Well, it's not during the COVID.
Well,
but,
nobody does
but
during this.
but we were.
If you're comfortable answering this, Travis wants to know if you still live in California.
I do. Yeah, I live in the Bay Area.
Let's see. Oh, Travis says, good grief, Skeem. Way to make me feel guilty for not throwing money at you this stream. Well, how did I do that, Travis? Just because I mentioned that streams are how I make money? Travis is the top donator of the month. The man's dropped like several $100s on this channel this month because he's insane. He's just trying to pay for my mortgage, I think. Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that.
I'm not complaining. I'm just making sure he's not spending money he doesn't have, but I know he's not, so. That's all I ever ask. I'm like, if you have disposable income and you want to make poor choices and support me, that's fine. Just don't spend money you don't have to spend. Let's see. What other questions you guys got? There's still 90 of you here. It's been fluctuating, but we've been staying at a very large crowd, so you must be curious. Brandy wants to know what your favorite instrument is.
Me?
Yep.
To play piano. But I'm also, I love so many instruments. I'm very interested in the harp, but I don't play.
That would be a fun instrument to learn. Joshua says, I think Travis wants you to do this as your full-time job and not your second job. Well, this is my full-time job, so mission accomplished. I don't have another job. YouTube is my job. Well, I say YouTube, Twitch, music production, all that crap, but I don't like go to work. It's this. What else do you guys got? If not, we'll just talk about whatever we want if you guys aren't going to have more questions. Grant says, I admire you both for doing this, and I would really love to be able to check out her YouTube, but I understand if she doesn't want to share that. But I will be back. Got to go check out Postcard stream. Have fun on Matt's stream. He's another artist that I work with a lot. Postcard is his rap name. His name's Matt.
Oh, very cool.
Thanks, Grant. Appreciate you. So another ask for you to reveal yourself. I knew they'd be petty about that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, I'd love to reveal who I am.
You want to reveal who you are to? Oh, that's a plot twist.
Right? You never know what's gonna happen.
I mean, we can. They might want to actually see you if you do that, or you could just tell them. It's whatever.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go here in a second, but I can turn my camera on for a second before I go.
That's fine. We could end it. We can end the thing on a reveal / who are you thing.
Okay. I can do that. Let's see. I'm in my car right now.
No worries. I'll be able to do it as a Skype window. Give me a second. I'm going to find Skype. Hopefully this will do what I want it to. There's always to hoping. Let's see. I just don't want it to show the wrong Skype window. Or show something it's not supposed to. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a display capture so I know exactly what they're seeing. And then they won't see anything else. Alrighty. So they can see a tiny little image of you in the corner. Hi. This is her. So go ahead and introduce yourself, I suppose.
My artist name is Binks LaFay. Binks is a nickname that I've had for many years, and LaFay is the fairy or the fate, which just reflects my personal life. And yeah, I feel weird talking to a camera with no one there.
There's you can't see me. I know it's weird on your end. You're gonna pretty much get full screen here, so keep chatting. Okay.
So my YouTube and my website is just binkslafay.com or Binks LaFay on YouTube, and I've been making music for a long time. I started getting really serious about my own musical passions a couple years ago.
You want to spell Binks LaFay for everyone?
Do I want to? Oh yeah, BINX, like the cat in Hocus Pocus. Binks, LE, Faye is FAE. Binks LaFay, and I put out an album about a year ago. So I have 2 albums, and I have a music video coming out this summer, maybe into the fall. We'll see when it's done. But yeah, that's what I go by now.
So for all the people that are asking for features and stuff, we follow each other on Instagram, so it'll be the easiest way that you can find her. If you go to if you look at who I'm following, I only follow 100 people, and she's one of the 100, so you'll find her easily there.
Well,
Jason Todd was a stalker. She said, I followed you on Instagram a week ago after Skeem said you were a piano teacher and followed his Instagram. I was curious and snooped. Jason Todd was a detective.
Impressive.
Stalking.
Piano teacher. Oh, yeah, it says piano teacher.
Yep.
That's right.
This is better than a soap opera, says Nikki. It's less dramatic, though.
Yeah.
Well, in some ways.
Less brain switching, and I don't know what happens on soap operas.
Someone says she's about to get swarmed by weirdos. That's not in the way that it usually means on the internet. We call ourselves the weirdo cult, if you don't remember.
I know.
Jason says, Jason JV, another Jason says, I just subbed to the channel. Can't wait to check out her music.
Well, I really appreciate you, Skeem, and everybody here. This has been a really great experience and really, really nice talking to everybody.
So, guys, everybody say goodnight to Binks, Brittany, whatever you want to call her. I'm used to calling her Brittany, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
So say goodnight to Brittany. Thank you for being pleasant. If please don't anyone go all of a sudden flipping the script and sending her mean DMs. That would not be very pleasant. I don't think you will, but I just feel like I have to say that. And we'll see if we have future stories to tell, but at least this wraps up the main one.
I'm happy about the ending. I hope you are, of the ending of that story.
I'm obviously been good with it, otherwise we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not going to keep you. I know we've kept you for an hour and you're just sitting in your car. I know you're supposed to be doing other stuff, so I appreciate you working your day around us.
All right, well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that was there was no clickbait in this stream, obviously. That was Brittany. Brittany was the person who I worked with the original After the Tone, that a lot of that album's about. We'll see if she's that nice with me if she ever listens to After the Tone album. She knows what she's in for if she does, though, so I imagine she'll try to stay away from it for a while. How you guys feeling? What'd you think? I know some of you guys had lingering thoughts and feelings about everything surrounding her after the album story. But how are you feeling now? She's a cool person, amazing. I like her. Very nice person. Hope you all end up doing more music together. It was weird until she went on cam. She seems nice, seems chill, but too chill. Seems nice. Thanks for letting us in some of your more personal life. She was very pleasant. Another Snoop. Like her, she's very mature. Got a good voice. Yeah, she's got a really good voice. I think she's a genuine person. She has a better voice than Amy Lee. Yeah, you made that clear. That was pretty awesome. I have to admit, I had mixed feelings when I first came into the stream. That was a big part of this was I know a lot of people weren't sure how to feel after the album wrapped up, and I knew the people who were vested in this story would probably see a stream like this, and I wanted you guys to have the same feelings on it that I did, and a minute and 45-second sound clip at the end of the album is good for a casual listener, but for those who are really like into the story, I don't think it gave people the amount of closure or clarity that they wanted. And that's why I asked Brittany if she would join me on a stream like this. And I said, hey, I'd just like to chat, have you meet the community. I know a lot of people have lingering thoughts or questions, and I'd like for everyone to kind of feel the same about this as I do as much as possible. And I hope that we were able to accomplish that. Because I think that, again, that soundbite is good for an album, but I know a lot of you guys were a lot more invested in this story than that. And it didn't feel like the proper fit. She's a champ for sitting in that car for an hour, I know, right? Thanks, Monkey Man Mike. Thank you for answering my questions. You're welcome. Thank you for asking them. Ooh, submissive and breedable. I don't know about all that. Miss Hernandez just throwing money shots at Travis, apparently. I appreciate you. You really don't want this smoke, says Travis. I'm liking the mini dono war, though. Yeah, man, yeah, she can sing, but man, that Skeem. So yeah, I mean, it's been
30% of your donation to Whiskey.
I mean, it's obviously been a wild ride for me. But yeah.
Skeem thanks you for your
Travis,
money.
holy shit. He says, swish. All right, I should just chill and see where this dono war goes, apparently. LC3 goes to talk serious Joker. 30% off your donation. David says, how do you feel about her? Well, I kind of summed this up a little earlier, but her and I had a decent history, right? We recorded an album together. We spent a lot of weekends at my house. You know, college kids, we would drive from our university to my house, record, drive back. So the drive from my house to college was about an hour and a half. So we had 3 hours driving with each other, then like an afternoon recording. And we did that several weekends. We practiced for shows. So we were very, very close. It was never romantic, and that was always mutual, which is weird. It's probably one of the only relationships I can remember that neither of us thought the other one was ugly, but neither of us were romantically interested at all. And I think that's because there was so much music at the core of what we were doing, that we were both just so passionate about that just we had our own love interests elsewhere. But we had a very close friendship and bond, and as we've kind of started talking again, it's been pretty natural and easy to kind of continue that. I think it also makes it easy. The fact that we never had a romantic interest also makes it easy, because I know she is seeing someone and I'm obviously married with kids. So opposite gender friendships can get confusing. But it's, yeah, I mean, how I feel about her is I don't have the resentment and anger that I did before. I still grieve over what happened. It still is a pain in my mind and my heart. There's still a lot of what ifs and whatever, and obviously I wouldn't be here if that had happened, but it doesn't stop your mind from kind of calculating a bunch of things. So I guess my thoughts on her are, I never wanted us to lose the musical relationship and friendship we had, so cautious steps towards rekindling that aren't something I'm against, I guess. I don't like hold resentment against her. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not like going to be like, hey, we're friends, just as close of friends as we were before, because I'm going to be, I'm a little cautious on all that, but I don't have like ill will towards her. And I'm in the boat of I'd like to move towards us being friendly again. Which I know would be tough for Mrs. Skeem, not out of a romantic jealousy thing, just out of this is someone who deeply hurt her husband in the past, so she's going to be very protective of that. So Mama Skeem, says David. Yep. Do you think that if things worked out musically with you guys, that you'd be in the position you are in today? I'd be in probably a very different position. I don't know where it would have gone. I do think we would have gotten the record label. And there was somewhere around a 6-figure deal for a young kid. And I think we would have done pretty well. I honestly think we would have done pretty well. Especially in the time that it was. We were the right type of music for the time. It was the peak of emo indie rock with the Dashboard Confessional and everything. We're like tied with mainstream. We were hitting the stride at the right time. So I think I would have ended up being close to, if not a household name. And who knows where I would have been. My life would have been completely different. Could have been worse. Probably not better because I wouldn't have my kids. I doubt I'd meet Mrs. Skeem, so it's not like I'd want to change it. But yeah, it would have been probably a completely different life. Different timeline. There might be another Skeem out there living that alternate timeline where we didn't lose touch. She probably thought she would get more record deals. She never knew about the one that we were being offered. And I knew that from the whole time. I knew she didn't know that because I never told her. The other Skeem living that life is we cream. Oof, that was a ride. That was a ride. Baby steps. Yeah, I know. I'm not jumping into anything. This is one of those steps. Skeem and her would have blown up for 5 years, fallen off, and gotten addicted to coke. No, even back then, I was very responsible. I would have invested and been very smart with the money. So that would have... giving me money at that age would have not been a bad thing. It would have not led to drugs and crap like that. Have you listened to all her music? Is that a coldest water koozie on your mics? No, it's Crypt. But I have a coldest water bottle right here. Look at that with my name on it. I still use those. They're great bottles. Let's see. Have you listened to all her music? That's right. I've listened to most of it. But yeah, I knew this stream was gonna put me in a place, so I'm just kind of still like decompressing from all that. 69 people on YouTube, ooh woo. What else do you guys want to talk about? Help me decompress, because all this stuff is still emotionally sore for me. Even though it's like positive, it's a lot, you know? It's still a lot. I try to do my best to just kind of keep it going the way it should, but it's still a heavy weight. Juana, did I say it? Skeem, had that never happened to you, you would never have known how much talent and important you are to so many people. Again, I'm not saying I wish it was different, but that doesn't really change the emotions associated with it. I hope that makes sense. Any moves on the Koofies track? No, because I'm always too busy to keep up with things. Like this next week, I have to do a bunch of paid things. I've got a reaction, I've got an instrumental, and I have to finally finish up my Hey There Delilah cover that I was commissioned for. The end of this album ended up throwing off my schedule a lot more than I thought it would because the album changed so much when I touched base with Brittany again. Do you plan on surprising everyone with another album like this? Unfortunately, I don't have any other albums that would have a storyline like this, so I'll probably be releasing music more on a weekly basis for a while as I kind of decide what my next album concept's going to be, because I want all of my albums to be impactful.
Skeem thanks you for your
Josh
money.
says money. Holy shit. Thank you, Josh. Wow. But, fuck. I'm distracted by that $50. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting. What was I saying? How are the USBs looking order-wise? I mean, they're doing all right. I haven't broken even yet, but I figure when they're actually here and I could show you guys what they actually look like, we'll probably sell some more. Oh yeah, albums. So I want my albums to be very meaningful, unless there's some gimmicky, goofy thing like Pop Punk is Dead. That wasn't super meaningful, but it was fun. Oh, The Guarded Heart, yeah. So, I'll just be working on a concept. You know, I've got hundreds of songs that are in the vault from past projects, so I might still bring stuff from, but there's all going to be After the Tone stuff mostly. So I might still bring more stuff from After the Tone as we go, but I won't ever obviously be able to tell the same story again. But I'm going to try to make sure my albums have a good amount of meaning and meat to them, but the narratives will be different, but I'll try to tell you guys good stories. So I'll just have to kind of figure out what the next story is going to be. Thank you, Walker. Have a good night. Someone said, let me see, there was an interesting thing. We Skeem. So to ask out of curiosity, I know you said you didn't have any type of feelings for her, but if it worked out with the record deal and everything, do you think y'all might have developed feelings? I have no idea. I know that was never something that had crossed my mind or was on the table. It's only something that's mentioned because other people ask, are you guys together? Because, you know, we did a music thing. My gut would tell me no. I don't think we're very...
Skeem thanks you for your money.
Holy shit! Josh takes over stream MVP. Oh, God. Travis is still here. He's not going to be happy about that. Well, I guess that's in my benefit, though. Hello, surprise here. Shout out to Josh. But I guess the short answer is I don't think so, Dr. Atheist. I don't think it would have gotten romantic. If anything, I think it would have gotten even more business-oriented. We're very, very compatible as, like, really good friends. It's weird. I don't think I've had, like I said, a friend who was female, who we had such a platonic connection aside from her. I think every other friend who I've gotten that close to who was a female was either romance there or no, or like they, you know, usually that's where it goes. But with her, it's never been that way. So I don't think it would have just magically gone that way. I wouldn't see that happening. Oh shit. Josh about to be a homicide victim. How long after did I meet Mrs. Skeem? A couple years after everything with Brittany ended. It was a couple years, 2 or 3 probably. That's nice, Skeem, like a sister thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had a very healthy platonic relationship, and like I said, we were in college spending tons of time driving and alone. Oh my God. Travis is coming in here. How many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Oh, you forget, Travis is sitting on mountains of disposable income that he's willing to spend on the Skeem family, which I freaking appreciate, especially through the summer months when YouTube is really slow. So thank you so much. Jeez Louise, Travis, you're insane. I don't know what else to say. Just attaboy, Travis. Oh, shit. Shit. But yeah, oh god, I think we were still talking about Brittany and I romance. Yeah, no romance. I don't never. But yeah. Let's see. Travis, what do you do for a living? Jason Todd's getting a little thirsty now. Oh shit. What about an album about my babies or Mrs. Skeem? I'm not good with happy music. My music doesn't usually come from a happy place. The best I can do is like hopeful optimism in the face of misery. So it would be a very inauthentic album if I tried to make like a happy album. I've never made happy music. It's not something that...
We Skeem thanks you for your money.
What do you do for a living, Josh? Well... Well, I mean, I guess this is working out for me. Holy shit. Oh, I appreciate you guys. This is why I get to give away cool stuff on my channel and keep doing cool stuff. Is stupid shit like this. Speaking of which, I guess I should give away something on this stream. Hot damn. Should I give away an album or Skeem merch? One of you big boy donors, tell me what I'm giving away. Am I going to give away like a Skeem hat that's made by Streamlabs, takes a few weeks or so to ship? Or should I just give away an album? What am I doing? We're going to give something away. Merch. Well, I'm waiting for the money people to say. Hat? The We Skeem hat is fire as fuck. It takes forever, but it's so good.
Thanks you for your money.
Oh god. Start singing. My life be like, ooh, ooh, holy fuck. But Gubby's like, I'm going to start streaming with all this. Oh my god. Well, let me get... we're going to have to give a fucking hat away. Yep. Free hat. Alright.
We Skeem thanks you for your money.
I love you, Cab. Cab goes, and I'm here too. And I helped. Oh god. Travis is flexing his money. He's like, oh, that's cute. I make what you make a month, a week. Oh god. Travis is claiming the Obi-Wan Kenobi high ground. Dear god, that's the weirdest. Are you a rapper on the side? That's a rapper flex. Miss Hernandez says, I make $6,000 a month from home. God. Thanks for everyone telling us your income. Appreciate it, I guess. Being self-employed is rough because I have to pay for my own healthcare, that's for sure. Fake Friends supergroup album with Gatsby and Postcard. Actually, we're planning on possibly doing a pop punk sort of joint, like an EP. Jason Todd wants to know if Travis is single. Oh shit! Let me buy this hat because I have to buy it so I can give it to you guys. And then we'll start this,
We Skeem thanks you for your
Loopy!
money.
Don't mind me, just a bystander to this dono war. I come in peace. Appreciate you, Loopy. Alright, so this should have done... Yep, alright. There's a hat thing going on. I don't know what the rules are. How hold on, I need to... No one's joined yet. I need to cancel this. Oh wait, Kyrio just joined. Well, you'll get your coins back. I gotta cancel this.
30% of
Oh
your
my
donation
God.
to We Scheme will go to fund criminals like me. I mean the good people over at YouTube.
Brandy Beach just getting in here with $100 joining in. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate you. Holy shit, you guys have just gone insane. Insane. All right, I got to. Okay, I'm just trying to. Wow. Ooh. Ugh. All right, we're starting the hat giveaway again. Sorry about the mistake. I'm just trying to detract myself with a hat giveaway because you guys have just gone insane. Ugh. Well, Mrs. Skeem and I are expanding our patio for if we have people over, so I guess thanks for that because we just had that expense recently. So appreciate you guys. You still have the fanny pack? Dope. All right, here's free hat. Get your hat. All right, we got, wow, someone just threw 16 tickets. Tourniquet, thank you for the 5.
Will go to fund criminals like me. I mean the good people over at YouTube.
Now, if you guys win this hat, if you win the hat, it will take several weeks to get to you because they literally like stitch these hats. They are such good hats. You will freaking love this hat. All right, Brittany had texted me. She's just like,
We Scheme thanks you for your money.
thank you, Hatter, for the $1. I appreciate you. Please go through. No, Brittany texted. She was like, I wasn't planning on doing the face and name reveal, but I think it was the right call. I think it felt right. She just needed that affirmation. I was like, yeah, good call.
We Scheme
Duel.
thanks you for your
Well,
money.
hey, this makes up for last night with the no YouTube notification. It sure does. Yeah, last night was a very chill stream with, about 10 to 12 people most of the night because there were no notifications. And I enjoyed it, though. It was nice and chill. It wasn't the best, obviously, for the stuff that's happening tonight, but you just roll with it. And then nights like tonight happen and go insane. So everyone's entering for that hat. Let's go. It's a really nice hat. But what other questions you guys have? Let's back to the topic. Back to the topic of this whole thing about we just spent the first hour of this stream. You got to meet Brittany, hear us talk. I got to share some of the closure that I had with you all, which was something I really wanted to do. How are you guys feeling about it? Like for me, I'm obviously in my feels deeply. And still figuring out day at a time how Brittany and I move forward. What kind of relationship we have. Do we become musical friends again? Do we work together? Do we just stay as acquaintances? But since I shared, this story with you and she's a big part of it and I kind of drug her through the mud, I also wanted to have a chance for you guys to kind of get the same closure with her that I did, especially since we had such a special type of friendship before. But how are you guys doing with it? Brandy says, work together again. You owe her a live stream.
We Scheme
She was
thanks
on
you
this
for your
one.
money.
Wes Keem says, fuck it, everyone else is doing it. I was hoping she was going to slip up your real name. My real name has been slipped up several times. Mrs. Skeem, the first several streams she was on with me, she said my name all the time. It's just no one ever really catches it. I think a few people in the community know my name because they've heard it in the streams and they put 2 and 2 together, but it's only ever first name, but we don't talk about that. I've seen a lot of people think, say what my real name is, what they think it is, and they're wrong. So, but I have some people have been right. Most people are wrong. So I guess when people think they heard my name, they heard wrong. Go to the old stream VODs. Now, none of those are up. I mean, honestly, a lot of people who know my name and interact with me in real life, in person, still call me Skeem. That's really what I go by. Honestly, Skeem is so much of my identity that it's kind of like, I've said this before, it's kind of like Eminem. I'm sure not everyone calls him Marshall. A lot of people probably call him M and Eminem, and it's just like him. That's how I am with Skeem. Like, just call me Skeem. That's a huge part of who I am. You don't need to know my boring birth name. Duel says, I've heard it before, but didn't bother to write it down or commit it to memory. Yeah, I mean, it's not important. It's not important. It's just not. Now that the mask is off, it's already more about me than I like it being, so. Liz.
What's this? Somebody new? Welcome, new butt brother!
Thank you for subscribing, Zelena. We all know it's Chad Channington. That's correct. That is my name, Chad Chaddington. I'm daring someone right now to drop $300. That was Silver Soul Knight, not me. I am not daring anyone to do that. The Kyrio says, I'm here for the music and the content, and your name does not change that. And Kyrio is such a loyal supporter. He's not always as vocal as everyone else, but man, this guy's always around. He pays for freaking a high tier of Patreon a year at a time over I think you're in Germany. But I appreciate you. You've been around a long time, and I definitely know that. So I always love seeing you around.
30% of your donation to We Scheme will go to fund criminals like me. I mean the good people over at YouTube.
Major Havoc says, Scheme, if you Postcard and Gatsby make the pop punk thing, make it an album. I hate EP, they're too short. Well, it's so much work because we'd be making all the instrumentals. Postcard would be doing most of the guitar, so we'd have to see how people felt about it first. So it would definitely start as like a 4 or 5 song EP probably. At most, and then we kind of test the waters. But maybe we could have one of those pop punk choruses with the female vocalist on it too. I call up old Brittany, and that's how we can get her involved. Blindside says, "You told me, and I can't remember either." It's a dumbass, boring ass name. No one cares. I'm Scheme. Who's been around the longest? Who I still see around? I don't know. There's a few that have been around a really long time. Mad Hatter was around right when Bling was starting, but I know that's not the longest, but it was before the Pennywise reaction. Really, anyone that's been here since before the Pennywise reaction has been here some of the longest if they're still here. All these donations are tax write-off, right? No, they're not. They are taxable income. They are the opposite of a tax write-off for me since this is my main occupation. Dave R. from college. That is true. He's been around there since the old After the Tone days, and he's here now, so he definitely would have one on all of you. There's also a Daniel from college, but he's not as long-standing as Dave R. Dave R. is longer than him. My tax write-offs are business expenses, like this hat. This hat I'm giving away is a tax write-off. With Scheme, I do what the persona is all about, and I see myself in him, and that's probably why Scheme has indirectly been such a good influence to me from late 2019. I appreciate it, Loopy. What about that Linkin Park album? I actually have a lot of the instrumentals finally made for that Blindside, so I'll be sending you some here once I figure out what to put on them, but I have not forgotten about it. Yeah, the ERB Joker versus Pennywise is going to hit 2-year anniversary, Dylan, on in November, I think, is the 2-year anniversary. And you better believe there'll be like a 2-hour video that day, me reacting to my reaction to the reaction of that video. So I'll be reacting to 2 different masked schemes in November.
30% of your
Mix
donation to
King!
We Scheme will go to fund criminals like me. I mean the good people over at YouTube.
Thank you for the Broke Boy bucks and for remembering the long but good Joker versus Pennywise reaction. Still my most viewed video on the channel. Most of my most viewed videos are ERB reactions, and then a few there's like a Bo Burnham reaction and a Tom McDonald reaction here and there. Those have always been my most popular content. But yeah, November I will be reacting on the 2-year anniversary. We'll be reacting to last year's reaction to the reaction to Joker versus Pennywise. Oh god. Oh, that's gonna be painful. That's gonna be painful. But the tradition must live on. I remember all the Joker versus Pennywise you were doing before the ERB, and you were like, this is the last one. Last one of what? I don't know. Oh, yeah. There were so many Joker versus Pennywise rap battles releasing at the time. And people kept saying, listen to this one, listen to this one. I was like, I'm not doing any more. You had an Elite... Yeah, I did have one Elite Bata reaction that went up there, too. That was pretty high up. Don't be like Crypt. He doesn't do his funny clips anymore. I mean, Crypt and I are different people. I'll do what I want to do. He'll do what he wants to do, and I love Crypt to death. He's one of the guys I rock with on here a lot, behind the scenes as well. I still need a silver tape Skeem mask for my wall in my man cave. There is a fun fact. There has only ever been one silver tape We Skeem mask. I made one, and I never made it again, and it's not even the same type of mask that I use now. It was the only one I could find was the female version of the white masks I wear. So it was smaller. It ended up fading. I still have it. It's right up here. And when we replaced this mask, because it started to crack really bad down here, and I taped it to try to hold it together. But when we replaced this mask, I actually had someone in the community donate to replace it because I wasn't about to put $7 into the channel at that time. So if you remember this mask, the channel was not profitable and not something I was sinking much money into, because I was like, if I have equipment that I've already acquired for other things, we'll use that. But at the time, it was not profitable. But this is where it started. This is the only one that's been made like this. It's too small for my face. Way too small for my face. I had to push it up like this just to see. That's why the bottom cracked. Because if I put it like this, my eyes are above the eye holes. The worst thing. This is the worst one because it wasn't even made for my face. 30% of your donation to We Scheme will go to fund criminals like me. I mean the good people over at YouTube. Major Havoc asks about the Artsy album I previewed that I was working on several months ago. Who says I'm not still working on it? That thing is a lot of composing. That's a whole different type of project. I don't know what I'll do with it when I'm done with enough of it, but oh shit, it's crooked now. So yeah. Oh. Travis says, how much for a custom one? Well, I don't even know where I would find that again. I can't find those online. I found that in the store. And it was the only one they had. I could do one with my normal masks and just put silver duct tape on it. That's about as close to a replica as you're going to get. But yeah. Maybe I'll add that to the We Scheme store.
We Scheme thanks you for your money.
Gotta go to sleep. Gotta work tomorrow. Hopefully I win, but good luck to whoever wins. Love y'all. Y'all be good. Yeah, if you're not here when we do the drawing, I have to save the link for you, and you have to use it before it expires. So make sure that you are present ASAP so I can track you down within 24 hours so that the link doesn't expire. Is it hard to make an online store and ship and stuff? It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's somewhere in the middle. I set up my shipping through a company called Shippo. to make the shipping part a lot easier, and it actually links with the web server I use, which is Wix. So if I get an order on Wix, it automatically sends it to Shippo for me to be able to fulfill, and then I print the labels at my house. After this last album, I just upgraded my printing process because I ran through so many rolls of tape and I hated my life. And now I print directly onto paper that is adhesive, and I could just put it on the packages. It's also pre-cut for labels. So I've been upgrading my shipping process as we've gotten more popular. That's always a good feeling to have to upgrade the shipping process. We upgraded the printer first. Now we've upgraded the paper we're using. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy, but it's not hard either. It took me a few days of setup for any of the things, to make my website look nice. That took a while, and all that stuff. Favorite piece of merch I've released so far? I don't know. I'm actually very fond of these hats. And they're only available on Streamlabs, so they only ever go out usually on these streams. Some people have bought them because you can buy them directly through Streamlabs on my Streamlabs link, but most people don't. But this hat might be one of my, if not my favorite piece of We Skeem merch. But I'm also very fond of how the design for the headphones merch came out, but I haven't gotten to see that in person yet. I have some on the way, so I'll be excited to show that off when it gets here. Next, I'll have to upgrade the disclaimer language. Yeah, if we get big time. Good night, Brandy. I was going to recommend Dymo. I love mine for shipping labels. Shippo is just really cheap. Like, to send a CD through USPS directly is like domestically $5 or $6. On Shippo, it's like $3. That's why I can offer free shipping. Domestically anyway. Internationally, even with Shippo, it's still expensive as hell, but it just calculates what it's going to charge me and charges international folks that. But domestically, because I switched to Shippo, I was able to start offering free shipping, which I thought was pretty important to make people actually want to buy stuff on the website. I love the We Skeem hat I got shortly after you offered them. Yeah, I've seen you rocking that hat. It's such, and I know Cab has one too. It's such a nice freaking hat. Even if I don't win the hat, I have every intention of adding a Skeem hat to my collection as the next piece of Skeem merch after my hoodie shows up. Yeah, I would say if you're going to buy Skeem merch, that's in the top tier. That's in the top tier of Skeem merch. I think it's pretty well priced too for how nice the hat is. It's like $30 or something, maybe a little more, which if you know how much hats are, that's like the price of a normal hat, but this one's actually like a custom one associated with me. It's one of my better pieces of merch, all things considered. But I think Streamlabs is a little crazy on the shipping price sometimes, and they take forever. But damn it, if that hat's not amazing. It's one of those things that usually when people buy it, they like message me after they get it going, "Holy shit, why is this hat so good?" I'm like, I don't know, man. They don't mess around with this hat. Travis, I haven't been on TikTok in a minute. John has one. Mad Hatter vouches. Amazing hats. Will we ever see your songs on YouTube ads? I mean, I could do that now if I wanted to. You just have to buy the ad space. It's just usually... I don't think it's a good return on investment for me because I don't care about pumping views, and my songs aren't usually globally accessible enough for the people who would get recommended it to like want to listen more.
30% of your donation to We Skeem will go to fund criminals like me. I mean the good people over at YouTube.
So I know you take bribes for reactions. What about games? Also, I missed the top half of the stream. Will it be a video on demand?
Thanks you for your money.
And then just hit me up on Discord. It's my YouTube name. If I win, this my luck is pretty garbage. Gotcha, purple bag. This video should be I'm going to leave this one as a video on demand because I think it's an important video for anyone who wanted closure on this whole situation. So yeah, I'm going to leave this one on YouTube. Usually video on demand is only members, but I'll leave this one public. So yeah, if you want to run it back, you'll be able to. How much to plug TikTok? I'm trying to hit 50K. You're gonna get 50K followers. All right. Well, plug your TikTok where? You could sponsor a video. This video is sponsored by Travis's TikTok. That would actually be hilarious. I think you've paid enough to sponsor a video. DM me on Instagram or something. I think that'd be a funny plug. We'll make you a sponsored video. Literally a video sponsored by Travis's TikTok. You just have to DM me. I'm pretty sure with your donor of the month status, you've purchased a plug space on one of my videos. Hubby can't see your donos? Well, I'm not showing hubby your donos. I have mine and the beanie still in the wrapping. I used a couple of times, but mostly collection purposes. I feel you, Dual. I use the beanie. I have the beanie. I don't even have the hat for myself. I've only seen it in person because people send it to me sometimes instead of themselves so I can sign it and then ship it to them. And I just keep meaning to buy one for myself, and I still haven't. I really need to do that. I do have a beanie that I own for myself, but I need to buy myself the hat. But I've seen it in person several times from people who won, and then they shipped it to my P.O. box. I signed it, and then I shipped it to them. Can I delete chat? Oh, you're talking about the video on demand. No, it's here forever. Just tell your husband not to watch it. You just have to hide him from it. I don't think the alert box was on when you were donating, though. So it might not really be visible on the replay. But I'm not sure on that. But yeah, just tell your husband to avert his eyes. Just don't watch that stream. It's long and boring. You don't want to watch that. I appreciate that, Dylan. I'm glad I have not let you down yet. Well, I'm sure I've let you down, but not enough for you to bail. So I'm thinking 11 o'clock will be a good shut-off time for this stream. Twitch will raid someone. So in about 4 minutes, we'll close off this giveaway, and then we'll have Twitch raid, and then I'm just going to start my Saturday a little early. Usually I'm up really late on Fridays, but thanks to the stream generosity, I can spend the night doing a little more emotional processing, and I think a lot of it will be I want to make some decisions on if I'd want to, because part of me really does want to do more music with Brittany. But then part of me is like, that's probably a bad idea. So I think I want to kind of think about that too. And just, maybe go down a YouTube rabbit hole.
What's this?
We'll see.
Somebody new?
Thanks for following, Tournicade. What did Travis just say? Anyone want some last minute festivities? I mean, you know I do. You've sponsored a TikTok video. So if you want to just increase that sponsorship of the plug of your TikTok on a future video, you go right ahead if that's what you want to do. Hatter says, have a great night, Skeem. Thank you for sharing everything that you have with all of us. Mad love from the Hatter. Mad love to you, Hatter, and the Hatter squad. Always, of course. Always. Dr. Atheist talking to himself between YouTube and Twitch. But this is your last call to enter the giveaway. We got about 2 minutes, and I'm going to actually a little less than 2 minutes. I'm going to do the drawing. We have 36 people entered right now for a total of 195 entries. So if you want to try to win a free hat, now is the time. Now is the time to enter. Have a good night, Carl. World's average gamer gave all of his points to Duel. Oof. Gubby says, geez, this hat is sought after. It's a good hat. It is a good hat. You would want to seek after this hat. Just remember that math is broken here. That is very true. So let's see who's not going to win the hat, because it's always the person with the most entries that never wins because math is dead on this channel. Bro, weird thought. All the YouTubers I've ever followed for any amount of time became reaction channels. PewDiePie, Mr. X is weird. I wonder if there are any theories behind that. Parasocial. I mean, reaction content is content that's very enjoyed by communities. It's not that difficult to make, and it's very fun to do. So I think it's a pretty simple formula. It's not extremely difficult, but it does take the right personality. It's very enjoyable to make and very enjoyable to watch. So those powers combine, and it's just it's not the only thing that most YouTubers end up doing. Most YouTubers end up doing commentary, even if they're not commentary channels. A lot of YouTubers end up doing music, even if they weren't musicians. There's just certain grooves that are natural in YouTube, and reactions are one of them. What's up, Gats? Gats, you missed it. You're gonna have to watch the video on demand. This was a good one, I think. We had about 100 people here for most of it too, for the meat and potatoes. So the first hour of the stream is where it all went down. So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna close these entries now. Are you okay with others doing reactions to your music? I encourage it. I love when people do that. Sometimes artists will incorrectly flag my beats and try to demonetize it, but usually if you appeal that and say this isn't yours, this is Skeem's song, it'll get removed because I won't ever flag it. You won't get a copyright strike, but they might try to demonetize it. But yeah, I always highly encourage people. Please react to my stuff. I like finding it. All right, so we're going to close entries and find out who won. Yes, I remember when the Fine Bros tried to copyright reaction videos. Everyone laughed them off the internet, and they tried to trademark it, actually. They tried to trademark the word reaction. Or reacts. It was the word reacts, I think they tried to trademark. All right, so 37 users, 202 tickets. If math is truly dead, then Liz is least likely to win this with the most entries. And second least likely to win this is Aborigen. But let's see. Let's see if math can be alive today. Let's see how it goes. Oh, yeah. Math is alive! The second highest amount of entries won this time. Welcome back to the channel, Math. Math was not dead today. Congratulations. Click that link right now, Aborigen. I see you in here. Click the link so it doesn't expire. But math is alive and well for like one of the first times ever on these giveaways. Let's go. Math actually did its job today. All right. So Aborigen, please click the link that was dropped in the chat. So you can redeem it, because that link has to be used. It will give me no other way to recover it aside from that link. This is a crazy night. We had closure on Brittany and I. You got the face reveal of Brittany. She revealed who she was, which was an unexpected twist. And math was alive. This is a whole... Hey, it says the winner redeemed their prize. Complete. Hat is given away. This was a whole new chapter for the Skeem community, man. Here we are. Who won the Dono War? Travis won the Dono War, and I think I'm going to be plugging his TikTok in the future. It sounds like he's going to sponsor a future video. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'm going to take some time to emotionally recover from it. For obvious reasons, this is a heavy topic for me. I really appreciate everyone who was here. I'm very grateful that you guys were kind to Brittany. I've had many different feelings about her, but as far as it stands now, I understand what happened, and I don't have anger towards her. And I had a concern that there would be meanness that I'd have to filter in the comments towards her, but I was like, I think I have faith in this community not to be that way, and I do not think I misplaced that faith. So thank you for that, because one of my biggest things is I wanted a non-toxic interaction for her to have with you guys, and I didn't want to have to not read a bunch of comments, so I appreciate it. And we'll see if we see from her in the future on this channel. We'll see where it goes. So thanks, guys. And Twitch, we're going to raid, so stick around.